Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to a very special edition of Vinyl Thoughts. Why is it special? Well, that's because today, March 2nd, is my birthday! Woo! Yeah, so on this day, 42 years ago, I was born, the year 1978. So we're going to celebrate today. Look, I got one of these Internight Metallica beers. Let's go ahead and crack one. Everyone out there, crack a beer. I don't care what time it is. Let's all drink. All right, so what are we gonna do today? Today, we are gonna talk about my top 5 albums from the year of my birth, 1978. So let's just fucking do it. Number 5, You're Gonna Get It from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This album was released in May of 1978 and is the second album from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Now, in comparison to the debut album and the one that came after this, Damn the Torpedoes, sure, this album falls a little bit short, but it's got some fucking amazing songs on it. It also has my favorite Tom Petty song of all time, which is I Need to Know, fucking killer song. Also has Listen to Her Heart, which is a fucking classic song. But I just love Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I'm a huge Tom Petty fan. And so if one of his albums is released in a year, it's probably going to end up in my top of the year. Let's take a look at this one, though. This is an actual 1978 pressing of this. It's got that cool, iconic photo. And then it's got, some liner notes and shit like that. And then look at that. Look at that fucking cool ass label. Yeah. So there you go. Wait, was that upside down? Ah, there you go. My number 5 album of 1978, You're Gonna Get It by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Number 4, Van Halen. This was released in February of 1978, a month before I was born. I already did an entire video on this album. I'll post the link down below in the video description so you can go check it out. But what do I need to say about this album? It's fucking killer. It almost sounds like a greatest hits album because there's so many badass songs and classic songs all on one album. It is just an undisputed classic, one of the best debut albums ever made. What more can you say? Number 4, Van Halen. Speaking of amazing debut albums, number 3, The Cars debut album, which is also called The Cars. This was released in June of 1978. And as rock albums go, it's pretty goddamn perfect. Good Times Roll, My Best Friend's Girl, Just What I Needed, You're All I've Got Tonight, Moving in Stereo. Once again, this is like a goddamn greatest hits album. And it's so well produced. I can give or take the album cover, but apparently the band also felt the same way. But this is just one of those albums that it doesn't get old. Every goddamn song is great. Yeah, it just sounds amazing. Look at those dudes. Look how fucking badass they were. Look at those suspenders. Maybe I should rock some suspenders. What do you think? Anyway, so yeah, here you go. Once again, this is a 1978 pressing of this album on Elektra Records. So BAMs, there you go. The Cars, my number 3 of 1978. Let's move on. Oh, hold up. Beer break. All right. For those of you who probably want to ask, is this beer any good? It's fine. I'm a beer drinker, not a beer snob. Moving on. My number 2 album of 1978, Ace Frehley. The Ace Frehley Kiss solo album, which came out in, September of 1978. Once again, I already did a whole video on this album. I will list it down below. But this is just one of those albums that it's so important to me simply because it's an album that I put it on and I have an amazing time every time. And that says a lot about a fucking album. I listen to this album more than any Kiss album. And I love Kiss. So here you go. My number 2 album of all time, Ace Frehley Kiss solo album. All right. My number 1 album of the year of my birth, 1978, is Rush, Hemispheres. What a fucking fantastic album this is. First off, if you've listened to a podcast episode I did a while back where I talked about my favorite bands of all time, Rush is up there in the top. And Rush never put out a fucking bad record. This album was the kind of last of an era for them because it's the last of them sort of being super proggy before they kind of moved into more of a succinct version of their sound. This might be the most proggy of all the albums they put out. But it is fucking killer. So, I mean, even track number 1, which is the Cygnus X1 Book 2 Hemispheres, it is 18 minutes long, and there is not a dull second in the fucking song. And then that's side 1. Side 2, we got Circumstances and The Trees, both shorter, fucking badass songs. And then, of course, do I even need to talk about La Via Strangiato? Probably the best instrumental song ever recorded. So let's look at this fucking. Clearly, I love this record. That's why it's my number 1. Let's look at this one. So this is also a 78 pressing of this album, and there is the dudes looking fucking awesome. Look at Alex Lifeson. I think I'm gonna do my hair like that. What do you guys think? So anyway, this is one of those albums that I just can't get enough of it. Every time I listen to it, I think I probably get something else out of it. It's a fucking classic. It's their 6th album, the 6th Rush album. And like I said, they never did a bad one. And so there you have it. My number 1 album of 1978, Rush, Hemispheres. Just, bask in the glory of this fucking record. So anyway, thank you for joining me. If you're actually watching this on March 2nd, thank you for joining me for my birthday. And if you were able to crack open a beer, even fucking better. But whenever you're watching this, it's never the wrong time to crack open a beer. Don't let your friends tell you weird things like that. Just fucking do it. Anyway, once again, thank you very much for watching my bullshit. Please subscribe. Turn on notifications. Let your friends know. Go follow me on all my social media accounts. You'll see that down below in the video description, the links to all that shit. It's great. I am now over 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty great that happened within a year for me, who is just some old dude talking about rock and metal shit mostly from years past. And I'm not doing video game playthroughs or makeup tutorials. Although, I don't know. You guys want to see me put on some makeup? I don't need any. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.